So you've all seen Endgame, right? We've all seen Endgame. You're here for the spoilers. You want to hear my opinions on all the stuff that happened that would completely spoil the movie, right? That's what we're here for. Nobody's just watching this because they don't care about the spoilers or just want to link it to somebody to be an a-hole about it. I mean, the movie made $350 million just in the States, and it made $1.2 billion worldwide total just this weekend. I just saw the numbers myself, and yeah, I participated in that too. I gave them my money, so we're all part of that, right? You're not gonna be mad that I'm spoiling stuff, right? So I'm gonna count from 5, and then I'm gonna go into the spoilers. Right? Fair warning. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thanos dies in the first 10 minutes of the movie. Isn't that was just crazy to me, because I thought for sure this movie was going to be, okay, we gotta hunt him down, find him, and a lot of the movie's going to be like finding him, maybe encountering his scattered minions or something like that, and then they would attack him with their remaining forces. But man, they just found him immediately, and Thor went for the head this time, and it was crazy just to see, like, holy shit, what the and I wanted to like scream on the theater, but I should talk about like Japanese experiences, Japanese theater versus American theaters. But man, I was just stunned because I didn't expect that to happen, especially that quickly. And I think this is one of the reasons why it was good that I didn't watch any trailers, because that might have been spoiled for me. But it's like, oh god, what the hell? And then, like I said in my spoiler-free review, the capital A acting from Robert Downey Jr. when he tells Steve Rogers, Captain America, I needed you, past tense, needed, because I told you this was going to happen, but no, you didn't want to do this. And the way they made Tony Stark look very sick, and like he hadn't been, really properly nourished in space, floating around God knows where for 3 weeks, and it was very well done. The makeup or whatever they did, well done on that. And man, he acted his ass off to show how pissed off he was. Like, I fucking told you. You know what? That's another thing. This movie is a lot of swearing. People say shit a lot in this movie, and it makes sense because it's very emotional, especially things that happen. And they say, like, let's get this son of a bitch. And I was like, okay, it's gonna take a while, but no, man, that whole first like 15 minutes was so crazy. And Tony Stark basically is like, I'm done with this. I am done. I had a kid die in my arms, and I am done with this. And then the movie does what I didn't think it would do. It skipped 5 years into the future. It's like, whoa, there's a time skip? What the hell? What? It was crazy to me to see that. And not to mention, I like the fact that how people were at the end of Infinity War are not the same people that we see towards, I guess, the middle of the first act of Endgame. You saw how they changed. Thor, oh my god. I mean, I'm a fat guy myself, but I'm pretty sure my gut is not as big as Thor's was in that movie. Oh man, he really let himself go badly, and you can see why, because he was depressed, like all the crap he went through, all the losing his homeworld, Thanos killing off the remaining parts of the remaining Asgardians, not to mention his snap had wiped off, I don't know, like the other half of them. So there's so much more to hear, but at the same time, when they showed Meek, Korg, and Valkyrie, I thought, like, wait, where were they? Did Heimdall send them away to Earth and keep them safe? How come they weren't there to fight to the death against Thanos? Where were they? That sort of thing was why I was kind of, I had a couple things I didn't like, but that was one of them. Where were they? It gave me questions about that. Not to mention the fact that I did like that Thor was, he was lost. He didn't know what to do anymore with himself. He had failed completely and utterly, and I liked that, and I wanted to see more of that. As far as one of the things I didn't like about the movie was I didn't like Ant-Man. Again, first of all, this movie did a great job of tying into basically every other movie in the MCU, and it tied very well into Ant-Man and the Wasp, a very subpar movie, is my opinion. Not as terrible as the first Ant-Man, but still pretty bad. And at the end of that one, in the post-credits scene, probably the best scene in the movie, he gets trapped in the quantum realm. And I like the fact they tied in that quantum realm to this movie. How, okay, I was gone for 5 hours, but here it was 5 years. And they showed earlier people that disappeared, and they showed him. They showed Lang as one of them. But no, he wasn't snapped out by Thanos. And that whole plan of how they're going to basically revisit the MCU, like a trip down memory lane, was kind of cool. Even though Ant-Man was kind of lame. He was very lame at times, I gotta say. Also, how they brought him back, I didn't like that at all. It was just a rat walking across the controls. Like, seriously? It wasn't like... It could have been a person, like, what is this? Oh, this was... Or it could have been that his sidekick from the Ant-Man and Wasp movie, the one he ran that business with. I mean, he could have been the one that said, "If you're not a freaking rat, that was dumb." But then again, Ant-Man's dumb. Ant-Man sucks. But yeah, what they did with Bruce Banner, I thought was pretty cool. I mean, that's a movie in and of itself because of the way that he went from being at war with the Hulk to embracing the Hulk, and now is the best of both worlds with the strength and the brains that go along with it. And so I really like that. Man, there were so many things like this could have been, another movie, but they chose not to. Not to mention the fallout. I like the fallout from this. What was going on afterwards. I mean, Captain America counseling people. And Tony Stark just retiring into the woods with a family. He's married with a daughter. I was like, oh man, that's cool. And the whole the dynamic with him and his daughter, you believed it because he's such a snarky asshole, but he comes across as a very kind and caring parent in this movie. And he didn't want to die. He didn't want to leave his daughter without a dad. But he, at the same time, once they had the plan together of traveling in time to get the Infinity Stones, after Thanos snapped and destroyed them, which was messed up. That just took all the wind out of everybody in that movie. That was amazing. And yeah, I'm sorry for all the rambling because I'm just hitting the stuff that comes to my mind. But that whole thing with him saying like, no, like that time's over, I'm done, and then him having to come back and basically saying like, look, I have a daughter now, I don't want to just die. But the whole scene, which took up basically the second act of the movie, the second hour of the movie, because the movie's 3 hours long, and it's worth it. It needed to be 3 hours. The second hour of the movie was them going through the MCU's history in a sense. They went to and there was some pretty cool scenes where they look at each other, how they were in the past, and there's a couple of good jokes in there too. Even Ant-Man, like Paul Rudd. I could talk about how much I don't like Paul Rudd, but I won't now. Won't do it now. But with that hour, it was pretty cool to see how they get the stones in the different times. And one of the most interesting scenes was with Hawkeye and Black Widow, because they go for the Soul Stone, and as we all know from Infinity War, you have to give up what you care for the most. And I'm surprised they didn't have Hawkeye say, I already gave up, I already lost everything that mattered to me, because his wife and kids were snapped out of existence. So, but they're the closest of friends, so one of them had to die. Honestly, I thought for sure it was going to be Hawkeye. I was kind of hoping it would be Hawkeye, only because it felt like the thing that could have been cool to him, sacrificing himself to save his family. So they basically lose him, whereas with Black Widow, she didn't have really anybody to live for, so maybe you could have done something with that. But I like the little fight between the two of them. It's like, okay, who's gonna be the one that sacrificed themselves? And it ended up being Black Widow. It's like, oh man, I like Black Widow. Before Ant-Man came along, the worst one was Hawkeye. I like Black Widow, but yeah, then she ended up dying, and good camera work, good uses of music, a lot of great music in this movie too. I gotta say, great music, and that whole scene there, Hawkeye finally is an interesting character. Oh, sorry, he's Ronin, I think, in this one. But yeah, Clint Barton, he's finally an interesting character. They finally did it in the last movie of the Avengers movies, until they start Phase 4, I think. I kind of hope they don't. But yeah, that whole thing. And then when they put all the Infinity Stones on a gauntlet and on an Iron Man tag, that was kind of weird. I was kind of hoping that they would go to the Forge and make Peter Dinklage's character make a new gauntlet, because doesn't it have to be something like that in order to contain the power of the gauntlet? But that's nitpicking. I don't care, but for the most part, because it makes sense for him to put on a glove that can expand and contract, because who's going to put on the glove? And I'm glad it was Hulk, because he was the one that should have done it. And man, it just tore his arm up. Not to mention, because it was CG as the whole character, you can just add CG burns to him. Unlike if you did the other characters using it, you'd have to put makeup on it throughout the rest of the movie. And that last act was part of my hearing about the kids for this one, but that was fucking intense, and that was so much fun. I enjoyed it so much, and I gotta talk about all of it. But when the portals open, there were two moments where I was like, again, hearing about the kids of this one, two moments where I went, fuck yeah, in my mind, because I can't say it in the theater. One was when Captain America pulled Mjolnir to his hand and started beating up on Thanos in the 3-on-1 handicap match with Thor, Iron Man, and Captain America against Thanos. That kicked ass. And then when Thanos' army came down, and it was like, oh damn, you are in trouble. You are kind of in trouble right now. But all the portals open, and first is King T'Challa. I was like, yes, King T'Challa, the king is back, baby. And then all these other people like, holy shit, this is insane. This is awesome. And I can't do it justice. I can't really do it justice because it's so good. And the way it ends with Tony Stark sacrificing himself. Honestly, I thought it was going to be Steve Rogers. I even said it in another video. I thought it would be Steve Rogers doing the snap to save everybody. But no, it was Tony Stark. With I am Iron Man. The line that basically kicked off the MCU and snapped his fingers. And boom, wiped out all of Thanos' minions. Like, man, poetic justice on this bitch. Damn. But it kills him, and his funeral is so well done. It's so beautifully shot. There's so much good stuff in it, and man, I can't do it justice. Again, I gotta see it again. I recommend seeing it again. Get the Blu-ray, 4K, whatever it comes out on. You gotta watch it again. Man, it is so good. But the theater experience is where it is at for this type of movie. But the one thing I had a problem with, Tony Stark died, Black Widow died, but that's it. I mean, Ant-Man should have died when they blew up the Avengers compound. He didn't even have burns on him with that, and he was like dead center when the blast happened. I would have been happy with Ant-Man getting killed. Yeah, kill Ant-Man. I don't even like Ant-Man or Paul Rudd, but yeah, that's the only other place that no other Avenger really died. I mean, only two of them, and that's it. I mean, even Gamora comes back from, even though it's a past self, but again, that makes another problem, because this time travel stuff giving you a headache. But I wanted somebody to just say it's multiverse theory instead of explaining the other theory of time travel. It's multiverse theory. You know, it's a bitch. If you get the reference, good for you. But yeah, and the way they wrote off Captain America, it's nice, but at the same time, it does bring its own problems with him just being an old man. But I did like when you dive into it, you start to think of, wait, it doesn't make sense, and you go down a big rabbit hole on that. But in the moment, it's beautiful for him passing the shield to Sam Wilson, Falcon being the next Captain America. But as far as the future goes, I might have to do another video just to talk about what I think could happen in Phase 4 and beyond. But it's a very good movie. It's a great movie. I had such a great time with it. Watch it again. And I know I didn't get through all the spoilers because I didn't want to go through everything. And also I'm kind of rambling at times. So yeah, great movie. Fantastic. You gotta watch it again. Maybe, man, I might have to redo that top 10 superhero movie list. Oof. So, what do you think? What's your favorite scene from Endgame? Let me know in the comments, and I will have a video hopefully later this week. I got an idea of what I want to do, but hopefully I'll get to that soon. So until then, take care. Bye.